workouts down here in Imo State. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Tokwaya correspondent speaking to us from Owerri. Well, before we go on for the headlines, so let's get on to this other matter. Well, Mr. Leary, about this matter, yes, we've heard some other correspondents, the guest here saying, well, that clearly is an admission of guilt. And I did say earlier, that's why many predicate their argument on the deployment of the military. They don't understand it, how the military, from their perspective, was used to perpetrate this kind of ill.
Ordinarily in elections, are we even supposed to have the police? No. Because election is a voluntary exercise. Nobody will force you to come and vote. But we are in Nigeria where we are how we are. I'll tell you, in Ekiti-gate today, there is a kind of apprehension that if we don't have enough security, I may not likely go out to vote. And people have this kind of mindset because of past experiences. We had a state where we had an election, INEC office was bombed. We have a state where we had an election in 2009. Votes in my hometown of Kumesi were destroyed by people. Votes in Nigeria, local government were destroyed by people. Votes in local government were destroyed by people. And when you witness this kind of situation, there's no how you won't want to say there must be adequate security.
We'll continue in just a minute, but we need to move over to Ayotunde Balogun. He's standing by for a look at the headlines.
Well, thank you very much, Chamberlain. These are the headlines right about now. Well, it's not INEC that appears prepared for the general elections. The Inspector General of Police, that's Mr. Suleiman Abba, has been speaking on the readiness of his officers and men to provide adequate security for the forthcoming polls. The police chief, who met top officers in Abuja today, read the Riot Act to potential troublemakers and warned that the police will not tolerate any act of intimidation, soliciting for votes on the day of election, and illegal possession of arms and dangerous weapons. A former vice president and a leader of the All Progressives Congress, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has denied knowledge of the groups of politicians who have announced their defection to the People's Democratic Party from the All Progressives Congress. And the former vice president insisted in a statement by his media office that he remains a committed member of the APC and asked that the purported defections of these groups be discountenanced. Now, a perceived attitude of some Nigerians towards the forthcoming general elections is gradually becoming a cause for concern, as this is said to be working against Nigeria's progress. Now, according to the Delta State Governor, Dr. Emmanuel Udua, who expressed his concern at a town hall meeting held with professional groups and civil society organizations based in Delta North Senatorial District of the state, he said campaigns should be based on issues. Israel's governing right-wing Likud party has sprung a clear victory in the country's election. Our Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has already ruled out forming a coalition with Yitzhak Herzog. Earlier exit polls had suggested no clear winner, but the latest vote tally gives Likud 29 seats, while the Zionist movement has 24 in the 120-seat parliament. Those are the news headlines. It's still Nigeria 2015. Chamberlain, is back to you now.
Well, thank you, Ayo. Let me get to Colonel Hassan Stanlabo on this matter, because in the light of what the court judgment has said, and what INEC also says, how they can maybe get across to the military, what's your impression? Do you think that the military should be deployed for elections?
First and foremost, Chamberlain, frankly speaking, given the situation now, my response is neither here nor there. But let's put the entire thing in some perspective. There are lots of authorities that would support the deployment of troops, ranging from Article 3 of the Geneva Convention down to our Nigerian Constitution 218, am I right? Down to the Army Act itself, you know, Section 8, and even 239 also, you know, which not only empowers the president to deploy troops, but also avail Mr. President delegatory powers